Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Saudi Arabia has announced the start of Ramazan after the crescent moon was sighted. The holy month begins today, with faithful fasting daily from dawn to dusk. Worshippers will begin their day with sahar before sunrise and break their fast at sunset with iftar, marking the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Central Ru'et-e-Hilal Committee will meet in Peshawar to sight the Ramazan crescent today. An official announcement is expected after the meeting on Wednesday. Iran's Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, says Tehran and Washington have agreed on a set of guiding principles during indirect nuclear talks in Geneva. He described the discussions as more constructive than the previous round, but said a final deal remains distant. Both sides will now work on draft texts before deciding on the next round, as US President Donald Trump continues to warn of consequences if no agreement is reached. Earlier, Iran's foreign ministry said Tehran had conveyed its position on nuclear limits, sanctions relief, and a possible framework for agreement, and progress depends on Washington avoiding unrealistic demands. Also, Iranian state media reported that parts of the strategic Strait of Hormuz would remain close as the Revolutionary Guards conduct military drills. Tehran previously warned it could shut the vital waterway if attacked, a route that carries about a fifth of global oil supplies. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has said that he will be involved indirectly in high-stakes talks between Iran and the US over Tehran's nuclear program, adding he believed Tehran wanted to make a deal. Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One that these talks will be very important. Asked about the prospects for a deal, Trump said Iran has long sought a tough posture in negotiations, but learned the consequences of that approach last summer when the US bombed Iranian nuclear sites. The foreign ministers of 8 Islamic countries, including Pakistan, have strongly condemned Israel's decision to designate lands in the occupied West Bank as so-called state land. In a joint statement, the ministers described the move as a serious violation of international law and a dangerous escalation that threatens the prospects of a two-state solution. The joint statement was issued by the foreign ministers of Pakistan, Egypt, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. Bangladesh Nationalist Party leader Tariq Rahman has been sworn in as Bangladesh's Prime Minister, marking a decisive political shift in the South Asian nation after his party's sweeping parliamentary election victory. Rahman, son of former Prime Minister Khalida Zia and assassinated President Ziaur Rahman, takes office facing urgent challenges, including restoring political stability, rebuilding investor confidence, and reviving key industries such as the garment sector after the prolonged turmoil that followed the Gen Z-led uprising that toppled Sheikh Hasina's government in 2024. Trilateral peace talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the United States have begun in Geneva. Ukraine's delegation head, Rustem Umerov, confirmed the start of the two-day discussions, focused largely on territorial disputes. US President Donald Trump is pressing both sides to reach a deal quickly, though Kiev says it is facing the greatest pressure to make concessions. Russian forces have pounded Ukrainian power infrastructure before a new round of peace talks, killing 3 energy workers and leaving tens of thousands of people without power and heat. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the overnight strikes on 12 Ukrainian regions that came under attack hours before the scheduled start of US-backed trilateral talks involving Kyiv and Moscow in Geneva. Zelensky wrote on X that it was a combined strike, specially calculated to cause as much damage as possible to our energy sector, calling for diplomacy to be backed by justice and strength. At least 11 security personnel embrace martyrdom after terrorists targeted a joint forces checkpost in Bajaur. On Monday, the military's media wing said. According to ISPR, 12 attackers were killed when troops foiled the assault. The militants reportedly rammed an explosive-laden vehicle into the checkpost's perimeter wall, causing a powerful blast that destroyed the structure. A young girl was also killed in the explosion, while 7 others, including women and children, were injured. Authorities said sanitisation operations are ongoing in the area. The US Southern Command says it carried out 3 strikes on vessels in the Eastern Pacific and Caribbean and killed 11 men in the operations. According to the US military, intelligence showed the boats were moving along known drug trafficking routes and were engaged in narco-trafficking activities. New Mexico lawmakers have passed legislation to launch what they said was the first full investigation into what happened at Zorro Ranch, where the late US sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is accused of trafficking and sexually assaulting girls and women. A bipartisan committee will seek testimony from survivors of alleged sexual abuse at the ranch. Legislators are also urging local residents to testify. And China has launched a new visa-free policy for British passport holders, allowing stays of up to 30 days for tourism, business and family visits. The move took effect as Spring Festival celebrations began, with visitors in Beijing welcomed with prize draws and holiday gifts. The policy follows British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's recent visit to China, as both sides seek closer ties and increase travel. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.